Good evening everyone, Kalla here, welcome to my live stream, glad you could make it today. So, today, back to the main story of Twisted Wonderland. After that gigantic book 7 wrapped up, just looking at that, I just sat here looking at those chapter numbers. Book 6, 89 chapters, book 7, 349. I knew it was big, but anyway. Book 7.5, where it looks like we actually might get to take a break. After everything that went down in book 7. About 23 this one? Yeah, that sounds about right given the missions. It was 20 something anyway. Also I have heard this one isn't voiced, which is odd for a main story, but well, we'll just have to do what we do event-wise. And I'll have to do it. Oh yep, it says 23 up there. I don't remember those chapter counts being there before. Especially not that one. But maybe I have just been blind and not seeing it. Styx Institute conference room. So, hi. How are you guys holding up? I can't imagine it's great for you getting examined from multiple angles for days on end. I'm not doing too shabby at all. I've healed up nicely, and it feels like I've gone back to my active duty days. Wow. That's quite a heal up. I've spent this entire time feeling something akin to weariness or languor. Before now, any fatigue I felt was fleeting. A bit of sleep was all it would take to recover. I'm not certain if it's due to the extended duration I sustained an arcane realm, or the loss of my horn. Also, I just realised I didn't actually say, hello Nick, how are you doing? I responded to what you said and didn't actually say hello, so hello. But I think perhaps my magical control isn't quite where it should be yet. I'm tired like Malleus. But otherwise good. I need to fix my sleep schedule. I really need to fix my sleep schedule. Your horns work like antennas gathering magical energy from nature, and they're also organs with tightly clustered nerves, right? That sounds hazardous. Be careful not to trip and fall and break your other one. I'll try. Grandmother has also had many harsh words to say to me. She's warned me that she won't stand for any further recklessness on my part. She also took me to task for letting all of that happen under my watch. The sheer weight of her glare made me feel as if I'd sunken into the floor, chair and all. Yeah, I remember the comments from the personnel that were present for that meeting. They were like, I sweated at least 3 liters, and I was desperate to get out of that room ASAP. Seconded from me, TBH. I was sweating buckets. It was so bad I thought it would totally extinguish my hair. On the plus side, at least you guys don't gripe and moan like the other troublemakers. We've been extremely grateful for how smoothly all the examinations have been going. Yeah, compared to the other... yeah. Incidentally, one of the personnel informed us there would be a special examination today. What will that entail? Oh, that. So, here's the deal. You guys both got permission to return to Night Raven College. That means, we gotta verify some stuff before you go back. Both of us? It makes sense for Lilia, but myself as well? From what I was told, there was a vote which included students and guardians at both Night Raven College and Royal Sword Academy, as well as the residents of Sage's Island. They voted to accept you as a high-risk magical disaster-grade specimen. Of course, there'll be some restrictions, and whether you actually go back is up to you and your guardian. They're actually forgiving me? After all I've done? I don't think they've forgiven you. It's more of a lucky break that the locals are pretty much used to troublemakers causing magical disasters by now. Royal Sword Academy is full of gullible saps. And a lot of students at Night Raven College just don't want people to think they're terrified of you. I see. How can I even begin to express my gratitude? Allow me to speak from the heart, Idia. I truly want to thank you as well. Please don't start with that. I've already heard enough apologies and thanks for you guys to give me indigestion. And as far as me and Stooks are concerned, you've been humouring us so much, it basically evens out all the trouble you've caused for us before. Anyway, just to confirm, are you both going back to school? Malleus. I mean, you don't have to decide today. I get why you'd be on the fence. I sure didn't want to go back to school after I overblotted. I'm sure it was the same for the other guys, too. There's awkwardness, guilt, not to mention feeling generally pathetic. For my part, I finally collected a CG of you boiling your eyes out only to feel bad when I actually got it. But I feel a little better after collecting a CG of you hunched up after getting yelled at, plus the pathetic look on your face just today. For as timid as you seem, you have quite the personality, idiot. I am still a Night Raven College student and a house warden. Okay, so we'll put the school question on the back burner for now. Today we're gonna start rehab so you can go back to your lives as they were before all this. Rehab? Yeah. The Styx Institute of Magic Science ensures magical lives are safe to explore. Aftercare is an essential part of ensuring an overblotter can return to society. We don't want a scenario like, exams are all done, you're free to go, only for peeps to go turbo-blot once they're on their own. Basically, we have to make triple and quadruple sure it's safe to let you guys return to your original environment. Alright, I understand. What will we be doing then? Well, after conducting detailed examinations, we learned that your magical wavelengths are actually very similar. They are? Yep, they might as well be from the same person. Oh, because Lilia absorbed Malleus's magic. Impossible. We may both be Fae, but I'm a bat. Malleus is a dragon. Yeah, that's correct. In fact, magical circuits are never identical even between biological relatives, like fingerprints. So we looked into potential causes. We checked your data against what was in the arcane health evaluations that you got when enrolling in MRC. What we found is that Malleus's wavelength was mostly unchanged. Yours, on the other hand, Lilia, seemed like a whole other person's. Mine? I don't feel particularly strange or out of sorts, though. Couldn't it simply be that excessive exposure to my magic has caused a temporary change in his? Explaining how magic works to a Fae feels like talking down to a professional in their own field, but magical energy doesn't have subdivisions or traits like blood types. And that's why it's possible to inject magic energy into other people or magical artifacts through brute force. Like what I did for Shearnheit. Exactly. But, even though you used magical energy from your own reserves, Vil's magic is still Vil's. Mal with the broken horn still looks odd to you. Well, he... yeah. He appeared on the screen and I was like, oh yeah, he's got a broken horn. I'm sure by the time we get used to it, it'll have grown back again. Traits emerge after the energy passes through the wielder's magic circuits and subsequently gets outputted as magic. That's not what's happening with Lilia, though. His magical output is very close to being Malleus's magic. How strange. What causes that? We haven't pinpointed the exact cause, but I can give Strix's general opinion. Maybe the immense amounts of magic energy stored in Malleus's horn and the mystery mage stone Silver was holding had some kind of reaction. And that altered Lilia's magic circuits. That ring, what manner of power did it hold? The mage stone embedded in Silver's ring shattered and lost its magical energy. So we're presently investigating what kind of power that stone had and how it worked. You claim that magic circuits are like fingerprints and no two sets are identical. Is my understanding correct? Yeah. This is all purely hypothetical, but I'll share the most prevailing opinion among the analysis team so far. They suspect the magic circuits that ran through Malleus's horn actually overwrote Lilia's. Overwrote? Is that even possible? I've never heard of such a thing myself. There's no precedent for it in human history. There's some mentions in Briar Valley, but we haven't found any known cases that are an exact fit for what happened here. The point is, this is absolutely a super rare case. Which is why we want detailed data from you both. The more you can get, the better it will be for us as well. It will be a long time indeed before Malleus's horn fully regrows. Yeah, I bet it feels really weird to be Malleus right now, because, like, one side of his head is significantly heavier than the other. Well, maybe not significantly. I don't know how heavy his horns actually are. Actually, looking at the broken one, they might be mostly hollow. But even so... It's got to be really obvious. Any advice we can receive from experts will make his life that much easier. Great, then let's get started on the tests. Show them both to the sim room. Stukes Institute Control Room. Subjects H and I have entered the simulation room with Kara on escort. All subjects have been equipped with testing gear. Instruments calibrated, ready to collect data. Commencing recording at 1300. Testing 1, 2, this is the control room. Do you read me? I do indeed read you. This technology never ceases to amaze me. Our equipment's changed, even the textures I touch feel real. I can imagine how intense it would be to play an FPS or some other game with this VR headset. Dude, Lilia plays FPSs. Oh yeah! Because Eddie... No, these two still don't know! I forgot about that. Idia, you need to talk to him about it. Anyway, back to the test. Let's start with you, Malleus. Could you try using ice magic at full power? Keep channeling it until I say to stop. Are you certain? If I use my magic at full power, I could destroy your entire facility. Never underestimate Styx technology. We've been imprisoning phantoms since the age of the gods. Don't hold back on our account. Very well, then. Fluctuations detected in Subject H's magical output. Rate of fluctuation exceeding control values. Yeah. Oh, my head. Well, it seems like his horns have more effect on his magic than we thought. It's like when I first took on bipedal form. I can't regulate my power properly. Malleus, are you alright? What's this? When you touch me, I can feel my discomfort evaporating. Ah! They are two parts of one whole now. Magically speaking. Subject H's magical outputs and fluctuation rates are both within control value range. He's stable. Just as I predicted. Magic is heavily influenced by one's mental state, but psychological effects alone wouldn't explain fluctuations this big. Next, I'd like you to channel your magic through Lilia's magic circuits like you did with Vil. Are you up for that, Malleus? I've never done that before, but I'll try. For sure. I hate to ask this of you as a first-timer, but this will be a more channeling feat of magic than just generating ice. Remove just the accumulated snow without using fire or heat, and without damaging any buildings or plants. Ooh. How would you go about doing that? Alright. Lilia, your hand. Here. Snows, depart to the skies once more. My word! You weren't one of the top 5 mages in the world for nothing. You nailed that challenging spell first try. Well, what's the observation data? Subject H's magical outputs and fluctuation rate are both within control value range. He's extremely stable. I feel no discomfort when using magic. So I feel no discomfort or pain when using magic. It's like how it was when before my horn broke. What I want to know is what happens if Lilia casts on his own. You know, science. Steeks Institute's private room. So, in essence, I've become your external magical energy regulator. It would seem I'll require your aid to perform any grand feats of magic like I could before. I've gone from being the dragon's hand to being the dragon's horn tip. What a state of affairs. That means that in the time it takes your horn to grow back, you can regulate your magic in spite of your inexperience. If anything, this works out quite nicely. That was what Grandmother told me. Admittedly, this does mean that, there's no way Malchus could do what he did before without assistance. At the time, I thought she was referencing my weakened magic. But could she have actually understood what was happening? She's always been a cunning old I mean a sagacious and insightful queen. At any rate, it sounds like I won't be able to retire from being your chaperone anytime soon. Hey Melius, you got what you wanted. Lilia can't leave now. I'm sorry. You wanted to be free from the Draconia family. From me. It won't be feasible right away, but I'll persuade Grandmother over time, and I think you've misunderstood something. I wasn't leaving because I wanted to be free from you. What? Oh no! Misunderstanding. I thought you were being forced to remain because Grandmother ordered it. Her Majesty asked me to stay, certainly. But a bigger reason was obviously that I wanted to watch you boys grow. If my magical reserves hadn't run dry, I would have loved to graduate school I wanted to see Silver coming of age, Sebek officially enlisting in the Royal Guard. And your coronation, of course. Yeah, I was gonna say, Lily is looking forward to being a proud dad when you all grow up. Truly? Whoa, not so loud. Then, why did you speak of going to the land of the Red Dragon all alone? Such a sudden declaration came as a shock to everyone. It was also deeply saddening. It brought Silver to tears. Look, I wasn't expecting to lose my magic so suddenly. Back in my active duty days, it was considered an exemplary conduct for those who couldn't fight to bow out gracefully. Otherwise, they'd be dead weight that slowed down those still combat-worthy, and they'd impede the entire war effort. You speak of a state of affairs from centuries ago. Those days are long past. I know. That mentality is outdated and wrong. And that human lives are so very short. From our Fae perspective, they have but a mere moment to freely enjoy themselves. And he would undoubtedly use that entire fleeting moment just for me. I wanted to do whatever it took to prevent that. Lilia. Yeah, communication, Lilia. Talk to people. Now, of course, I've gotten my power back through some bizarre twist of fate. So it seems I won't be imposing on Silver for a while yet. I suppose this must be what they call a blessing in disguise. Boy, what a lucky break for me. I understand your desire to avoid imposing on Silver, but why didn't you tell me? What kind of king would I be if I didn't lend an ear to my friends to listen to my friend's woes? I wish you would have consulted with me. Ren? Why are you so shocked? Sorry, when you put it that way. Why should age matter between two people both enjoying their salad days together? Why are you laughing? I'm angry, you know. You never told me you were the one who hatched me from my egg, either. Well, if I told you about that, it would lead to all sorts of topics that are difficult to talk about. You also lied to me about Silver's origins. Did you think I would do something to him if I knew the truth? I know you wouldn't, but it would be cruel to ask someone of your background to love him, a human. Once Silver learns more of the outside world at Night Raven College, he is bound to leave the forest and return to the human realm. I thought ignorance would be better for everyone involved. Obviously, I know that ship's sailed now, of course. It would be a lie to claim my feelings aren't conflicted after learning the truth. When he was an infant, I was puzzled why you had adopted such an unsightly creature. But Before my very eyes, he grew up, learned to speak, and brazenly declared he would become a knight and protect you and me. Sebek soon joined him, and I began to find your house was full of clamour no matter when I chose to visit. It was noisy and dirty there, but still I couldn't stop myself from sneaking away from the castle chamberlains and venturing to your home. I could hardly come to hate him now after all this time. I see. Lilia, I would like to return to Night Raven College. Children of man may be individually weak, but they drew upon their knowledge and joined forces to slay my mother and break my horn. I have much more to learn about their collective strength. If I study that without looking down upon it, I could undoubtedly become a stronger, wiser ruler than my mother or grandmother. Wouldn't you agree? You're completely right. Besides, it's probably for the best to take shelter at school until Queen Malefica's snappiness is abated a bit. Indeed. Even the thought of returning to Briar Valley now terrifies me. Not even immortality could save me from that. Scary, Grandma. I admit feeling slightly awkward at the idea of returning to school, but I'll take that over Grandmother's lightning. You're not wrong. Both of us owe an apology and our gratitude to the children of man who stopped you. Agreed. And that holds especially true for Silver and Sebek. I must ensure they receive a properly fantastic reward. But it would hardly be fun to merely bestow rewards. This calls for something far more special. Ah. A fine idea comes to mind. Fine idea, hmm? I know just the treat to give everyone. Will you hear my proposal, Lilia? This, I assume, being the party that we had at the end of Book 7. School Infirmary. And that concludes your examinations. Thank you for your cooperation. Sure thing. Thank you too. That was intense. Ah. Trey, Riddle. Hey, Keita. Since you're coming out of the nurse's office, I'm guessing you're done with your examinations? Yep. You guys on your way back from meeting with the head mage? Yes, we discussed Malleus and Lilia's return, but there was also much to discuss about the interscholastic games coming up in early June. Alright. Always one thing after another, huh? Whoops. Should have been paying more attention. I almost ran right into you. My bad. I appreciate the huge amounts of support Stooks has provided, examining everyone on the island for magical disaster after effects. And it's kind of hard to relax with those imposing troops marching around campus. And Diasomnia's still off limits too. They even wrapped up the Deosomnia mirror in the Hall of Mirrors with yellow tape that says, "Keep out," in big bold letters. Yeah, I hear it's still got such a heavy magical energy density that it's hazardous to humans. Is it because Malleus's horn broke? That guy's seriously on a whole nother level. So, where are all the Deosomnia students? Are they, like, bunking up at the other dorms? Students and mages from Briar Valley have that matter in hand. And the head mage claims that restriction should be lifted in a matter of days. And Lils and Malleus haven't come back to school yet either. Man, I just want things to get back to normal. Idia's also been missing a lot of school with how much he has to do at Styx. To be fair, in Idia's case, he barely shows up to class in person to begin with. Well, I want to ask him more details about the books I read in the dream. So I'd much prefer things to return to normal soon. Are you talking about the technomantic engineering manuals you read while you were keeping Malleus out of Idia's room? Yes, the school library has similar books. They were all less detailed than the ones from Idia's dream. Their explanations were more vaguely written. Which, I guess means that Idia is a lot more capable of explaining technomantic stuff. The books Idia had were neatly indexed so I could jump immediately to what I wanted to read. The text was clear and concise with no ambiguity. They were quite well written. Why didn't I think to note the authors? Yeah, I'm not sure they were real books. I think that's Idia knowledge, Riddle. That's my bet anyway. Trey, those books Riddle read were parts of Idia's dream, right? You thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, Riddle might be looking for something Idia created from his own imagination. I'd believe it from the maverick genius himself. If Riddle learned the truth, I bet he'd corner Idia and force him to write those books immediately. What have we here? Lightning pierce the stormy skies! Living bolt! Your trump card is mine now! Joker's wild! And Sevek and Ace have switched spell script structures. Alright, here goes Living Bolt! Ah! Ace electrocuted himself. Oh, but you're telling me the spell comes with its user's glaring inexperience? Ah! Hey, what do you mean, glaring inexperience? It's you who's inexperienced, not me. If you want evidence, look no further than the fact you're standing there paralyzed after moving barely 30 centimeters. Ace's spiky hair got even spikier. When he tried to swipe my signature spell, he just got all hairy like a yeti. Oh no, I want to see that! And when he tried to use my Crimson Slumber spell on me, he tapped Deuce instead, and Deuce was standing right behind me. I'm starting to think it was pure luck that he pulled it off against our boss in the dream. I've heard just about enough out of you big-mouthed jerks. Ah, Thought I'd gotten a handy signature spell that'd let me bang out powerful magic. Implies Yetis exist in the Twist universe. Well, does it imply they actually truly exist? Because they could still be just legends. Just stories. But given the world of Twisted Wonderland, it's probably possible. It does seem pretty tricky to use. Who's this going to be? Loud. I mean, it could be Riddle, because Riddle just noticed them. Let's go with Riddle. What do you think you're doing? Yep. I knew that voice. Nightraven College Code Article 6, fighting between students is strictly prohibited on campus. If you're violating the rule, they will have all of your heads. And it's not what you think it is, House Warden Riddle. We have good reason for this. Yeah, but also, why are you doing it here and not, like, further away from the school buildings? Okay. So you're all helping Ace train with his signature spell. Thanks for helping out one of our freshmen. I mean, I heard Ace had gotten a cool signature spell, so I just wanted to see what all the fuss was about. So don't read anything into it, because I'm not here to help him train. Yeah, Jack, I believe you, I believe you. Likewise for me. Since his spell is a sneaky one that lets him rob others' spells, I was simply trying to ensure it was properly controlled. And in fact, he failed to use my spell when he stole it. Rob? How rude. Joker's wild just switches one spell with another. I'm not robbing people. Yeah, more like borrowing. It exchanges a spell of mine with a spell from the target. That's it. What a tricky spell. That's neat. But you have to have a read on the cards in the opponent's hand to accurately make the switch. That increases the spell's difficulty level by a considerable degree. Quiet in the courtyard! I understand that you weren't fighting and that you were conducting magical training. However, doing that here still constitutes a breach of etiquette. Sure, you freshies don't have perfect control over your magic yet. What if you accidentally hit some passerby and injure them? That'd be a huge mess. Sorry. If you want to do training with magic, you should do it in our dorm's rose maze. It's a little cramped for spell slinging, but if you ask Riddle, he could order the roses to make some space for you. Order the roses? All of the roses in Heartsaddle's maze are magical plants. The roses reconfigure the maze layouts via orders from the House Warden. Isn't that right, Trey Clover? Yeah, I'm impressed that you remembered that after we only went over it once or so. I also haven't forgotten that you told me I'm welcome to come visit. Oh, the Mies layout changes? Cool. The Insomnia has magic plants too! They're the briars that Malleus ordered to imprison you all in the door. Why are you bragging about that? Oh, talk about creepy. I wanted to practice on the down low since the house warden would nitpick if he found out. I'm standing right here, you know. You must be quite eager to lose your head. Now, house warden. Training to take full ownership of his spell is laudable. You're not fooling me, AC. You just wanted to get a handle on it in private so you could get a bunch of props later, right? Would you guys lay off and make us a space in the maze already? Oh, so your signature spell lets you swap your own magic for someone else's. That's amazing. It'll be one powerful spell once you master it. Right? But it's pretty tricky to actually use. And I can't use shape-shifting magic like Jack, even if I swap in his spell. The thing about Unleash the Beast is that it's something I can only use because of my wolf ancestry. Interesting. So your signature spell evokes your ancestors' traits from your genetic information. Does that mean it's a reversion spell rather than a shape-shifting spell? Yes, sir. When Ace used it, he didn't turn into a wolf, he just got all hairy. Oh! Not a Yeti. Back towards the common ancestor, huh? It was funny seeing him all fuzzy. Not that he could hold a candle to my luxurious coat. Waiting for that spell to wear off was the worst. Well, you know what they say. Failure's the mother of success and all. Did you have any other hairy experiences? Sebek's signature spell shifts his body into a completely different form of matter. If it spells like that, even if I understood how they worked, my body couldn't keep up. And that goes to show that my spell is one that can't be mastered by undertrained weaklings. Sebek, have you mastered your own spell properly yet? That's rich coming from the guy who shocks himself silly all the time. Quiet, you! I also can't switch spells when I don't know what kind of spells someone uses. If I'm expecting a fire spell but it turns out to be a lightning spell, it doesn't work. So you have to anticipate what your opponent will play next ahead of time. Like a card game. Yep, plus the target has to have fully formulated that spell, or mine will fizzle out. And that sounds like a limitation you could overcome with the right training. Get good enough to add any missing structural components yourself when you make the switch. You can do that? Oh, wait, right. Your signature spell Paint the Roses lets you overwrite someone's magic. That means you instantly rewrite or rearrange a spell structure, right? Oh jeez. That's the kind of thing that gets me all mixed up. I can't overwrite just anything. Every spell has its limits. I can vouch too. Back when I first manifested my signature spell in my fresher days, I could only make one clone. I guess in the end it comes down to a whole lot of practice, huh? You won't build muscle without exercising. Same goes for magic. White House Warden riddle spell just like that back in the dream. I can relate. I could use Scrimson Slumber on the Island of Woe when things were urgent. Once I got back to school, it was misfires all day. I remember thinking, what in tarnation's wrong? Maybe it's the adrenaline rush in an emergency that makes the difference? I do have data that claims magic is heavily influenced by someone's ability to focus. But I doubt it was a fluke that Ace succeeded in stealing Riddle's signature spell when he did. I think there's a logical reason behind it. What would that be? I mean, probably because Ace has a pretty good handle on Off With Your Head at this point, right? With Joker's Wild, the more data you have, the higher your odds of success will be. That data includes things like the timing of when the target spell is cast, as well as its effect and potency. In your case, Ace, you've had Off With Your Head cast on you so many times, it's become commonplace. Yep. Maybe that's why you succeeded at making the switch, despite only having a moment to act. That makes so much sense. Yeah, you got collared pretty much as soon as you started here. What kind of lousy reason is that? Maybe you really only got through that mess because of exactly who you are, AC. I guess anything can pay off after steady daily repetition, huh? Thank you, Ace. You've taught me so much about the value of repeat training. From what I've been hearing, you seem rather proud that you stole my magic from me. And I'm not so soft I'd leave anything of mine up for grabs once I know it can be stolen. Don't let one success go to your head. Continue to apply yourself with diligence. Oh, come on! Don't you laugh at me too, House Warden Riddle. I rescued you guys from danger with a totally clutch move. We should be getting going now. You're free to keep using this place, but be careful not to injure yourselves. Okay, one quick group pick for the road. Hashtags NRC Freshmen, 6 spell training, failure is part of training. And posted. Keep at it, freshies. And I've got to master this signature spell fast so I can make those guys eat their words. If we had these spells mastered right out of the box, then no one would have to work hard for anything. You gotta start with the fundamentals. Training on fundamentals is my least favourite part of playing basketball. And come to think of it, Jack, you already had your signature spell at the Interdom Spell Drive tournament in October, right? That means you acquired yours the earliest out of everyone present. Impressive. Was there some impetus behind mastering it? I don't know about an impetus exactly. My maternal grandfather used a reversion signature spell just like me. I really looked up to him. I kept trying to imitate it, and eventually it just clicked. Did you manifest your magic young too? Not really. I developed the spark for magic when I was around 9 or 10. Yeah, same here. My brother got his pretty early. I was half ready to accept I wasn't going to manifest it, and then it just kind of happened out of nowhere one day. Who cares how young or old you are when your magic manifests? What matters is how you train and hone your skills after you get it. Yeah, Sebek. I remember how you were on the verge of tears because you couldn't pull a spoon towards yourself in the dream. And I know how to tell humans' ages from looking at them, but you seem pretty big to... I was not crying! Stop making ridiculous claims! Every time I thought my magic manifested, it slipped away. Back then, my magic was very unpredictable. I was 14 by the time it was stable enough to use. I think I was around 12 or 13. I didn't realize I could use magic until after I started middle school. I pulled a bat I dropped back into my hand. That was when I realized I'd just used magic. A bat, Were you in your middle school's baseball club, Deuce? Well, Ortho. I was throwing down. I mean, I was just playing a pickup game. Yeah! Baby Deuce definitely wasn't using that baseball bat for things that weren't baseball. No, definitely not. So, what about you, Abel? How old were you when you got the spark? Me? I think I was around 10. I was helping my family with a harvest. I used magic to pluck an apple from high up, then I realized what I did. There's lots of people back home who use magic for agricultural work. Oh! Human lands use magic for farm work as well. I thought you all relied on machinery. We do rely on machinery for a lot of stuff. But we've also got a lot of slipped fields that aren't suited for machines. Potionology helps for selective breeding and fertilizer development, and light magic's good for surveying land and harvesting. Did you get sorted into Pomfiore because your family's got a strong background in potionology? Before I enrolled here, I loved flying through the air, so flight magic was pretty much all I ever used. I love flying with magic too. It makes you feel, I don't know, magey, right? Must be nice being able to fly around freely on a broom. Yeah, my classmates mentioned that you need a flyer's license to fly around in urban areas. And that people have really limited options for where they can practice. Alright, I guess I was flying over private property. I guess that's one of the pluses of living in the country. What about you, Grim? When did you first become capable of using magic? Who? Me? I don't know exactly when it was. But before I knew it, I could breathe fire and use magic to knock fruit off trees. Does that mean you were using it instinctively by the time you were old enough to remember? What strange creatures dire beasts are. Actually, I've never thought about it before, but how old are you? I don't know. I never kept count. But my age and my species ain't relevant here. What is relevant is that I'm a great genius. I'm jealous of you guys. I wish I had a signature spell, now that I'm enrolled at Night Raven College and all. I mean, although you've got a giant death laser, that's about the equivalent. Yeah, me too. I want a signature spell, and I want it now. Yeah, I wish I could use magic at all. The three of you are also unique that you're basically walking signature spells as it is. True. You're a dire beast, humanoid, and otherworlder who all managed to get admitted into an arcane academy. You're all one-of-a-kind beings that no one could ever imitate. Aw, that's nice of you. Okay, sure, but still. I want to recite a spell name like Gate to the Underworld. All cool the way Idia does. Nothing's stopping you from reciting whatever you want. For that matter. Back when you were guiding us to target coordinates in the dream, didn't you recite some manner of incantation? That wasn't an incantation. It was a system message. The students in Ignihide all tell me it's cool. And system messages do have a flair of their own, but still. I don't really get the distinction, but none of us would be able to pull off those system messages even if we wanted to. Every time I hear them, I think about how much of a tongue twister it would be for us. The grass is greener on the other side, huh? Maybe I should bring this up with Idia sometime. I'm sure your brother would come up with something mighty clutch. Signature spell, call my own. I can dream. Knowing you, wouldn't it just wind up being something ridiculous? Like getting bigger the more you eat? No, Ace. It would be summoning food. In the same way that Callum can summon water, I'm pretty sure Grimm's signature spell would be summoning food, summoning tuna. Which, incidentally, I mean, summoning a tuna could be an attack spell. It's in cans. It would hurt. Just make it rain cans of tuna. You know, I could see that. Food's all he ever talks about, asleep or awake. Say what? I definitely don't want a signature spell that lousy. You just wait. You're gonna get me a signature spell that'll make everyone jealous. And then I'll twist you all into knots. Keep practicing and you'll get there, Grim. Ooh. Oh yeah! Did Grim get a chance to eat the Bloodstone? It smells good. Man, where's it coming from? Stone! That's a big one. Once again, please stop eating things off the floor. Hey, Jamel! Sorry, I totally forgot that tomorrow is the deadline for the Interscholastics forms. But the way you're supposed to fill them out is so complicated. I'm kind of at a loss here. You were with me when I got this stuff from the head mage, right? Help me fill them out, will you? You wish for me to complete documents for the Interscholastic competition? Very well, Mr. Asim. Thanks, Huh? What's gotten into you? Why are you talking all funny like that? I have addressed you in an overly familiar manner since we were young because you permitted me to do so. But now that I have asserted that I have no friendship with you, I consider it appropriate to correct my demeanor. Oh, wait, what? What's going on? Did I do something to upset you? Not at all. I'm merely drawing a line. Now I shall return to the dorm and get to work. Oh, hold on. I really don't like the stuffy way you're talking. Please talk like you normally do. Is that an order? No, it's not an order, it just feels creepy. It's hard to talk with you like this. It does not bother me, if you will excuse me. Jamil, please, just stop talking all deferential and stuff. That is an order, I trust. What you're doing right now is really mean, you know? I don't want to call it an order. What can I do to get you to talk to me like you did before? Let me think. Give me the gold bracelet you're wearing. Do so, and I shall return to my prior way of speaking. Mom gave me this bracelet as a good luck charm ages ago. But if it'll get you to talk the way like you used to, it's all yours. Here you go. That was a joke. You're the Asim family's heir apparent. How can you let a retainer tell you what to do? I urge you to consider the value of things more. If I sold that bracelet, I could buy a luxury home in a prime location in Silk City. If you carry on in this manner, one of these days someone might take you for every last sore cent you're worth. What? Wait, Gerald? Are you going after my fortune, like in your dream? Who could say? But if you continue to adhere to your present status quo, there will be no treasure in the world easier to take than yours. Surely you've learned by now that there are no absolutes. There could be a snake in the grass near you already. So you wish me to address you as a friend would? By all means, simply give the order. I don't know. Ordering you to do this doesn't feel right. Then you are fine with me speaking like this for the rest of our lives. Definitely not! I am your retainer. If my superior orders me to change my demeanor, I shall correct it at once. Jamil is stressing Callum out here a lot. Yes! Oh, how the tables have turned! But, I mean, yeah, you're a retainer, but still! Why do you hesitate? Simply say the word, sir. I order you... Okay, sure, Callum. Since that's what you want, I'll go back to acting like a friend would. I swear that has to have been very deliberate. what were we talking about? You wanted my help with something? I'd like some help filling out these forms for the Scholastics. Oh, that. No way! That's your job as house warden. Why should I do it for you? This is on you for barely paying attention to the head mage's explanation since you assumed I'd remember it. Huh? How can you say that? You're the one who told me to act like a friend. When a friend doesn't want to do something, they say no. Isn't that unfair? Unfair? Look who's talking. You don't want to give me orders as my superior, but you don't want to take no for an answer as my friend. You can't have it both ways. So, will you order me to stop being a friend and be a retainer instead? You can do that whenever you want, Mr. Asim. Ah! Okay, you're right, that wasn't fair of me. I'll learn from my mistake. Oh, where are you going? Your forms aren't done. I'll do them myself! Aha. Bring them to me when you've finished the first draft and I'll review them. I'll do my job as Vice House Warden. After all, I can't have Scarabia be the only Dom sending in shoddy paperwork. That sounds like a challenge. Just you watch. I'll fill out these forms so perfectly you won't have anything to fix. We'll see about that. If you carry on in this manner, one of these days someone might take you for every last sore cent you're worth. Do I need to stop him from taking over my family? No, it'd be bad if anyone took it over, not just Jamil. Even if something's complicated and hard for me to understand, I can't leave everything to someone else. If Jamil ever seriously tried to take over the Asim family, it could turn into a whole rematch of our brawl in the dream. Ah! I swear I won't lose, Jamil! Callum's learning. Well, are you quite satisfied now you're done eavesdropping from the shadows? Who's eavesdropping? Well, we haven't seen Octagonelle yet, and it could be Azul or Jade, but probably not Floyd. You can come out now, Azul. Please, you wound me. That conversation was so loud I could hear it with my ears plugged. I must say, though, I'm shocked that you're plotting a takeover of this Sim family. And here I thought you weren't the type to take an interest in money or influence. I thought so too, until I saw the dream Malleus gave me. Having everyone in town kneel before me, getting to put a foolish ruler in his place from atop an elephant, that felt incredible. You can relate, right? It must have felt amazing being a star athlete and reigning at the top of the school hierarchy. Please, don't bring up my dream. That was a distorted dream Malleus gave me. My true desires are nothing so foolish. Is it really something to be ashamed of? Who doesn't want to be popular? Huh? Of course everyone wants to be special, to be better than anyone else. Our dreams were exaggerated and distorted in weird ways. And they were still our wishes, in part. As much as I hate to admit it, they were. Logically, I know that's a foolish thing to wish for, and I had kept such thoughts bottled up until they were forcibly dragged out. Looking down on others and openly scorning them, all while being showered in adulation. My dream self was comically absurd. But you're right that I tasted an exaltation unlike anything I've ever felt before. Exactly. Malleus picked quite the nightmares to show us. Once someone has a taste of nectar, they can't help but want to taste it again. It's just human nature. Jamil, are you actually planning to take over the Yassim family? Who could say? Sidestepping the question of whether I'd carry out a takeover in reality. A man's allowed to dream, isn't he? Jamil's just like, doing that for real is not off the table. It's still definitely an option on the table. Hey, Riddle? Huh? Did he leave already? I had some stuff to ask him. Riddle has stepped out of class to assist Professor Train. His things are still here, so I expect he'll return shortly. You want to talk to him too? Bad timing. Is that what you guys are here for? Yeah, Leona gave me the Interscholastics forms to hand in, and Riddle's the guy in charge of collecting it. The Interscholastics. Ah, the full title is the Arcane Academy Interscholastic Games, I believe. They were postponed due to the Malleus affair, which has led to a situation where we have to handle Interscholastics prep on top of our already hectic exam preparations. Azul was complaining about how ridiculously busy he was. Is Azul still doing the study guide's side hustle? Sadly, the head mage has prohibited providing study guides in exchange for a compensation. So I believe his new plan is to make them obtainable via the Mostrolandra's point cards. Right, so instead of being directly paid for them, registered members can then exchange points to participate in online seminars. That guy never learns. Yo, Jane, I want to hurry up and get to the basketball club practice. Could you call Goldfishy and tell him to get back to class already? Actually, better idea. Could you just give him the book back for me? I'll do no such thing. If you borrowed something, you should be the one to return it. Why are you waiting for Riddle, Floyd? We had an ancient incantations assignment to write an essay about this book we were supposed to read. I've been putting it off since I didn't feel like doing it. It's getting close to the deadline, so I finally dragged myself to the library. Every copy of the book was checked out. It'd be boring to wait for someone to bring it back, so I went to get a copy for myself, but Odyssey had a different book to read. The professor probably switched up assignments to avoid too many people copying each other's work. Plus, he has the same book, but Jade was still using his and wouldn't let me borrow it. So I got it from Goldfishy instead, since he was already done with his essay. Oh, it totally tracks for Riddle to be done already. You lucked out big time getting a copy to borrow, huh, Floyd? Come on, Callum. You know that a guy that straight-laced wouldn't subloan library property to somebody else in a million years. Floyd probably just took it. He didn't just take it. He wrote him an IOU. When Riddle saw that IOU written on a torn-off sheet of loose-leaf paper, the look on his face made me shudder. That explains why you're so insistent on Floyd giving it back himself. Yep. And that's why I'm waiting on Goldfishy. My, this is quite the eclectic gathering. Hello, Azul. Is that paper in your hand what I think it is? If you think it's the submission forms for the Arcane Academy Interscholastic Games, then yes, you are correct. Don't tell me Riddle already returned to his dorm for the day. No, he stepped out, but I expect him back soon. Then I'll wait a bit. What's wrong, Ezel? There's a pair of feet sticking out in the row here, and I feared I'd been the first to discover some manner of foul play. No, I think it's the sleeping silver. But it's just someone laying across the seats. Wait, is that silver? Would Azul have preferred that to be a dead body? He's sleeping rather peacefully. Oh yeah, come to think of it, I don't think he showed up to afternoon class. Jellyfishy and I have an elective in this classroom before lunch. I'm guessing he's been catching Z's here ever since. And judging by how soundly asleep he is, he may remain here until tomorrow morning. Silver! Silver! Is it morning already? Good morning. Though I fear school's only just let out for the day. Oh, wait, school's out? Oh no, I slept through lunch and all my afternoon classes. I wonder how many classes Silver misses. And how that compares to the number of classes that Leona misses for napping on purpose. You're wide awake and alert in our dreams, but I guess you're the same as ever here in reality. Actually, my random drowsy spells have gotten a lot better since that incident. Oh, is that right? They always seemed to trouble you before. If matters have improved, I'm happy to hear it. Yeah, I got thorough examinations at the Sages Island Hospital, and Stuke's alright. From what I've learned, my sleeping habits were caused by vestiges of the blessing the fairies gave me as an infant. Though apparently those effects have mostly dwindled away. And then why were you sleeping like a baby in here? Oh, the early summer weather was just so refreshing and pleasant, it just happened. So you just dozed off for real. That's funny. Effects of the blessing you received as an infant, was it? As I understand it, you're the last Prince of Swordvale, a country that fell approximately 400 years ago. And the fairy's blessing kept you sleeping until recent times, yes? Apparently. It's still hard for me to wrap my head around it. Dang, it's like something out of a fairy tale, but right here in the modern day. That's amazing. While Silver's name and face were kept from circulation in the media, newspapers did cover the story, and it's been generating buzz all over social media. Guess there's no stopping juicy gossip. If Silver lived anywhere other than Sage's Island, he'd probably be getting hounded by the press non-stop. I'm truly grateful to the head mage and the local residents for working to ensure I don't have to worry about such disruptions. Here I am, skipping my classes, wasting the whole day napping. Beyond disappointed in myself. Our afternoon classes were just study halls anyway. You don't have to beat yourself up over it. I've been struggling with my interscholastics forms so much, I barely made any progress in my classwork either. So you're also here to submit your forms. Same. I'm handling it for Leona. Actually, I don't even know how to fill it out. So I was hoping Riddle could explain it to me. Can't you just ask Sea Snake to do it? The face of trauma. No, I can't! Whoa, dude! Why do you have to yell so loud? I'm determined to finish this myself without relying on Jano. What's wrong? Did you have a fight with Jano? It's not a fight. We agreed to have him check my work after I'm done. But for now, I'm not getting any help from him. But you're still not doing it yourself if you ask Goldfishy for help, right? Callum, you'd be welcome to ask me for assistance. I'll give you a friend discount. Didn't the head mage tell you not to engage in paid commission work on campus grounds, Azel? And what's this I hear about a fight? There better not have been brawling. Welcome back, Riddle. Everyone's been eagerly awaiting your return. Oh, they have? Yep, everyone's been real patient, Riddle. Real patient. Right, I need some more water, and I will be right back. Yes. Octagonal's forms seem to all be in order. You're quite meticulous with your paperwork, that's all. Savannah Claw's forms had 2 issues. I left sticky notes where things need amendment. You can turn it in again after making the necessary corrections. Come on, these are minor mistakes. Couldn't you just fix them for us real quick, Riddle? It's prohibited for anyone other than the corresponding house warden to revise or amend these documents. Man, what a hassle. Wish I could fix it myself, but Leona's handwriting is so neat you'd find me out like that. You mean you haven't learned to forge Leona's handwriting at this point, Reggie? I can see why the head mage placed Riddle in charge of collecting forms. Goldfishy's way too nitpicky. How annoying. You swiped a book from him, Lloyd. Revisions that detract from a document's authenticity, not to mention reloaning library books, are both prohibited by the rules. There are no exceptions. And didn't I tell you I was going to return that book to the library after school today? You could have checked it out through proper channels. Why did you go out of your way to break the rules instead? Look, my deadline was coming up. I was in a mood to get my work done right then. I'll at least commend your respect for deadlines and academic drive. I won't let you off a game. Hey, Riddle, what am I supposed to put in this field exactly? Your grounds for recommendation. Each house warden is supposed to provide a concise explanation of why they recommend a student for the team. Like they're a hard worker or have neat handwriting? Except this is about magic, right? It's hard to explain that concisely. These forms have so much to fill in. Magical reserves, activation speed, magical specialization, control score. And it's not just magic related things, there are even fields for physical fitness test scores. Yes, I was also surprised at the level of detail. So you need to have all that information from these for the students that you're recommending then, huh? What are these forms even for? They're registration forms for students participating in the Arcane Academy Interscholastic Games. Oh, that's what we did all that stuff for. Diasomnia held their qualifiers recently as well. And after Scarabia's qualifiers, Jamal and I spent all night pondering who we'd recommend. Each dorm selects players to represent them. Then the faculty and house wardens meet and decide which event to assign to which player. This will be my, Azul and Floyd's first time participating, so I'm both excited and nervous. It'll be the first time for me and Jamal too. I'm super excited. Wait, you didn't take part last year, Azul? That's surprising to hear. Yes, I was thoroughly preoccupied last year, laying groundwork to become housewarden. I mean, we had such an incredible pool of talented upperclassmen. There was sadly no room for me. Too busy scheming, huh? You took part last year, I believe, Riddle? Yes, I was already house warden then. How about Jellyfishy and Sharksucker? I failed to make the cut last year due to not being sufficiently trained, but I managed to get in this time. Yep, I made the cut too. I actually made the cut last year too, for the Spell Drive team. But I never actually saw play. All I did was warm the bench. This year I'll beat those Royal Sword Academy jerks and get some corporate attention. The scholastics are my chance to redeem myself after the brutal time I had in the inter-dorm tournament. Nightraven College and Royal Sword Academy engage in 4 different magical competitions in this meet. Okay, so clearly Spelldrive is one of them. Are you going to tell me what the other 3 are? I want to know. I want to know. And this year marks the event's centennial. It will have far more media attention than the Interdorm Spelldrive tournaments. It's going to be the most exciting event yet. Out of the 4 different competitions, Spelldrive is the only constant. The other 3 are random and change yearly, as I understand. Huh? Why are they random? To prevent cheating. Some of the competitions include things like accurate potion formulation or speedy special ingredient retrieval. August told me that out of those, some can't always be held the same way every year. Yeah, there are magic flowers that only bloom once every few years. And types of seaweed that only grow in freak weather conditions. Okay, so that's why Spelldrive's the only constant. To avoid too many external constraints. The Department of Magic should send word about this year's competitions sometime soon. Oh man, I'm all fired up now, I can't wait! If you want to take part in the meet, you'll have to finish your paperwork properly first. The submission deadline is 5 PM tomorrow. You don't have any time to waste, Callum. Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta finish this up. Our teams will include students from different dorms and class years. I'd only wonder how things will shape up. Yeah. It's not like teamwork is the forte of very many people here at all. And especially if you then mix different dorms. I'm certain it will be the height of entertainment. Yeah, I think you're right there, Jade. I shook myself off a ton, but I'm still sparkly all over. What was Grim creating? A glitter bomb? Well, you did spectacularly botch mixing that potion. Alchemy workshop. In today's class, we will be formulating and baking a confection with magical effects. You want us to bake something, sir? I thought this was a potionology experiment. Confections with magical effects are created through an application of potionology. It's not about simply combining ingredients. You need enough magical skill in order to stabilize the effects. Take leaping macarons, for example. They're reputed to temporarily improve focus and memory. And that effect is derived from using clariviolets that have been thoroughly dried and powdered. Those same flowers also provide the macarons with their beautiful colouring. Yeah, that makes sense. They are, in fact, violet. Also, we're getting lore behind one of our items. And their sweetness comes from a special powdered sugar with high magical conductivity. By imbuing these ingredients with magical energy during the mixing process, the resulting confection gains a modest magical effect. Wow, that stuff they sell in the school store actually does something? I thought they were all just bogus placebos.
Does that mean we can get good grades on tests if we eat a bunch of those macarons?
Bad boy! They don't become more effective when you consume them by the dozen. You're to learn how they work today, not gorge on them. Now measure your ingredients, pups, and be careful and precise.
These whatever violets are supposed to boost memory and focus. And then adding more powder means an even bigger boost, right?
I can see how this went so wrong. Grim, this is potionology, which is very, very specific, and also baking, which is very, very specific. If you mess with these ratios, it is going to go horribly wrong, Grim. The recipe only calls for 1 gram for 2 servings, Grim.
What? That's nothing. You should throw a few tablespoons of the stuff.
I don't think that these macarons are going to end up macaron-shaped. Grim should not be allowed to join this class. No, Grim has to learn one of these days. And if he has to learn by getting blown up, ooh. Hasn't done that in a while.
Mix the violet powder with the almond powder and powdered sugar.
Yeah, now you've got too much powder, Grim. Like you're gonna have to increase. You're gonna have to like. You're probably gonna need slightly more egg. But even so, it's not gonna.
What's going on? Mix the violet powder in and now it's all glowing and sparkling.
I think we discovered why it's only 1 gram.
How much Cruel gets on my case? I'm sick and tired of making sweets.
That latter one does not sound like a problem. I'd love to walk around smelling like violet macarons. So, this from the guy in the gastronomy club.
Gastronomy club's all about eating good food, not cooking it.
What's the matter, you two? Why the long faces? You're usually so eager at lunchtime. You're sparkling and smell like violets. Let me guess, you did a lab exercise to make leaping macarons, and you botched it by overloading on paraviolet powder, right?
Huh? How do you know?
Every year there's a handful of freshmen who get the same bright idea as you and end up botching it the same way. There's a proper amount for everything. Even delicious seasonings can make a dish inedible if you put too much in. But no need to mope about it. I've got a freshly finished blue plate special here, seasoned to perfection by the chefs. Eat up and keep studying through the afternoon. Thank you very much.
We got stuck cleaning after class for so long, there's no place left to sit.
Hey, Kalla, Grim, over here. What happened to you two? Your hair is coated in some sparkling powder. Grim botched a potionology experiment and sent powder everywhere. It made us all sparkly too. Oh no, you made the entire class sparkly, Grim. Why are you doing this? Phone. / cable. I was standing right nearby, so my labwear looks like a glittery sequined coat. You'd better have learned something from that, Grim.
Ah, shut! You got gooey jelly everywhere that one time, remember?
Would you like me to use my air duster to blow the powder off? Hey, don't you dare do that! You'll get powder in our food! That happened with someone from our dorm once. There's a medicinal herb that's supposed to be good for the skin. One guy added too much to his moisturizer and made his face neon green. Once he was better, Vil got on his case about how quantity does not necessarily equal quality. And that goes for protein powder too. It's essential for building muscles, but drinking too much of it gives you stomach problems. Oh, is that what you're drinking now? The stuff you mentioned buying at club practice? Yeah, it's pear-flavored soy protein powder. Some flavors just aren't that great when you mix them with just water. And this one's decent on its own. Maybe I should carry around a bottle of protein drink like you do, Jack. It's supposed to be most effective when you drink it just after exercising, right? Yeah, I brought mine to have after club practice, but Vargas put me through the ringer in PE. No kidding, he was all, "You'll never beat the Royal Sword Academy with running like that." Ooh. Seriously? This is playing up a lot today. Maybe I should change cables. Yeah, give me a sec. Let's see if it plays up less now. I guess the faculty is pretty fired up about the interscholastic games too. My class in Sebex had a joint ancient history incantations lesson today. We held a mock battle in an event that was previously held at the interscholastics.
What kind of mock battle was that?
It was a competition to see who could assemble scattered scraps of a passage in an ancient language and decipher it the fastest. Ooh, that sounds fun. We're told the event at the games requires people to collect scraps of paper and stone tablets scattered across a field. Couldn't you make some wild phrases out of that if you assemble the parts in the wrong order? Yep. You're supposed to read the finished passage out loud, and tons of people piece together ridiculous sentences. It reminded me of this card game where you use the cards you're given to make a phrase. It was pretty funny. The teacher burst out laughing too. How could an educator laugh themselves breathless during a classroom exercise? It isn't a game. Didn't you assemble an ingenious passage of your own, Sebek? 7 beasts rode the pumpkin carriage to court, where they lied and their noses grew. 7 beasts riding a carriage. At that point, it's just a bus. And what would cause their noses to grow in court? Stop laughing! All of you would make passages just as bizarre. Hey, Kalla! When they do that exercise, be certain to record whatever ludicrous phrases they make. Then I'll laugh at them. But now we know that there's a class like that, we'll know what to expect. Sorry, but I'm gonna prep like mad before even attempting it. I don't know if any amount of prep will help me string together proper passages. Okay, who's this gonna be? I'm not sure. Ancient languages are essential for handling spell incantations. It would be... Vil. It would be unacceptable for a Pomfiore student to let himself be outdone by any other dorm. I know that voice. Bonjour, hatchlings. May we sit at your table? The others have no empty seats. Of course. Hey, Grim, move your books off the seat. Thank you. Now, you sound kind of tired there, Vil. Even I get tired sometimes. Just when we're done handling the fallout from the magical disaster, we have to rush to prepare for the interscholastics. And we juniors have to apply for internships by the end of May. Never have I had to scramble to get so much work done by such tight deadlines. It's unbelievable.
What's an internship?
We heard about those at the cultural fair, remember? Seniors at Nightraven College study off-campus at institutes and businesses. It's customary for juniors to choose and apply to these internships themselves, yet it seems our queen remains undecided. It's not every day I see you struggling to decide something, Vil. All I've decided for certain is that I'll go to a film studio. The question is, which one? There are 3 I'm torn between, each with their own separate styles and company cultures. Films are heavily influenced by not just their directors and scripts, but also by the studio creating them. Would it be possible for you to intern at a different studio each quarter? The thought did cross my mind, but making and releasing a single film can take years. Plus, I'm Vil Schoenheit. If I was only there for a few months, I imagine I'd get no work done from dealing with all the endless fawning and simpering. Then the internship would be over in a flash, and I'd have nothing to show for it. My dream is to achieve the epitome of beauty as an actor. But I wish to learn the rigours of working on a set as a simple rookie. So I decided to fully commit to a single place for all 3 quarters. If this is going to be a year-long commitment, I can see why you wouldn't just pick something to tide you over. Don't people also get screened out at interview and resume review stages? How can you be sure you'll make it into the internship you want? Who do you think you're talking to, Cucumber? Me? Being screened out? Not possible. I feel bad for whichever corporate guy has to make Vil work like a rookie employee. He's got way too much presence and intensity for a rookie.
He lords it all over everyone.
Have you finished your application, Rook? Oui, I applied at an archaeological research institute in the Shaftlands. I thought you would be going wherever Vil would. I am le chasseur d'âme, pursuer of beauty. While I do wish to remain with Vil, I came to the conclusion that it would not be the pursuit of beauty if I did. Pursuit of beauty? A question, Ethel. Would you agree one cannot achieve a full understanding of a jewel's shine merely by gazing upon it? I decided to follow my own path in seeking the essence of beauty, all the better to appreciate Vil's shine. Sure, I don't really follow, but I kinda get it, maybe? Adoration and adulation are two different things. I believe he's saying that true learning comes from not following in another's footsteps, but by striving for one's own goals. Oh, Sebek, you understand what Rook says? I guess you weren't kidding about being an avid reader. Here I thought you were just a loudmouth. Don't act impressed over something so trivial! Are you mocking me? I was going to say, who is this? But I think the audio has made it extremely obvious. Here. Sorry to interrupt. Is the seat next to you taken, Jack? Nope, it was Ruggy. It was Ruggy. It wasn't Leona. I thought it was Leona because we hadn't seen Leona yet. Let's try that again in Ruggy voice. Sorry to interrupt. Is the seat next to you taken, Jack? Yeah, I guess that wouldn't be a line that Leona would say. But I was like, who haven't we seen yet? Ruggy, no, it's not. Sweet, then consider it taken now. Bye, Leona. Okay, Leona was here. Huh? And now we've got Leona and Vil at the same table. Have we seen everyone now? Yeah, I think we've seen everyone now. Leona, got you a seat. Hey, Ruggy. Get me one somewhere else. Oh, don't be picky. You know this is the only table with open seats. You saved a spot for yourself, didn't you? Switch with me. Sure, I can do that. My spot's at that table over there. Guess this one's the lesser of two evils. My, what a thing to say. If you don't like it, you're welcome to have your lunch on the floor. Sorry, but indoor picnics aren't my thing. Hey, Jack, scoot over some. Yes, sir. Well, enjoy your lunch. And don't forget to put your own dishes away when you're done. Shut up. What are you, my mum?
Oh, your blue plate special has 2 hamburgers, no fair.
What's the problem? One's not going to be filling enough. Okay. You could buy a second one too if you want it. I agree that a single hamburger is hardly filling, but for a royal prince to talk with his mouth full, how uncouth! Are you whining about manners in a school cafeteria? This isn't some upscale restaurant. Nobody cares how anyone here eats their food. Ah, such swift work the Roi de Lion is making of that hamburger. I suppose it must be the norm in Miss Savannah, where a moment's carelessness is all too fatal. Perhaps at times beauty lies in haste rather than taking things slow. It's just speed eating. He's barely even chewing his food. Hey, Leona! Stop putting your vegetables on Jack's plate! I'm just giving extra nutrients to a growing underclassman. Right, Jack. Leona, eat your own darn vegetables. Actually, I'm done eating. You can have the vegetables for yourself. Are lions unable to efficiently digest vegetables since you're carnivores? That's fascinating. Why is everyone at this table getting on my case? Spoiling my meal. I wish I could identify all of the pieces of music. No, I don't have a guess on this one. They're saying those things because they care about you. Plus, not chewing your food enough really isn't good for you. Oh, darn, it was Trey. Man, Trey was actually my guess. Should have spoken my guess aloud. Oh, great. Now Pops is on my case, too. It feels a little strange being called Pops by someone older than me. Trey, any spots over there? Oh, hey, now there's a rag grouping of peeps. The second years are over on that table, and this table's just like first years and an increasing number of third years. You guys looking for seats? Yeah, but I can see your table's pretty full. We'll keep looking. Haste and I are done. You can have our spots. Oh, you sure? Yep. Wouldn't want the house warden hearing we stayed at our table for more than 15 minutes after finishing our lunches. I don't think Riddle would have your heads over that at this point. Yeah, probably not. There's an easy way to cheat the system. You can just drag out having a post-meal tea or dessert and say you're not done eating yet. We've got PE coming up, so we can't stick around too long anyway. We gotta get changed and get to the sports field. Kalla Grim, be careful not to spend too long eating or you'll be tardy for your afternoon class. Catch you later.
Yeah, see ya!
And I'll take the spot next to you. So, what were you guys talking about? Hard to imagine the topics that had come up in this odd gathering. We were admiring the delightful way the Roi de Lion eats his meal. You were. The rest of us most certainly were not. We had been discussing our internship. Alright, internship applications. Leona, you finished yours before orientation was even over, right? It's just a one-year internship. I'll take whatever gets me the school credit. No sense agonizing over it. Where will you be going, Leona? The Mining and Energy Business Institute in the Sunset Savannah. What? Why so shocked? You don't think I'd make the cut to get into a research institute? I knew you were smart, but I always assumed you'd do something spell drive related. Yeah, me too. Even Ruggy was talking about that. He said since the Sunset Savannah doesn't have a world-class team, you should make one yourself. As if I'd ever do anything that tedious. So you don't have plans to stick with spell drive after you graduate, then? I wasn't exactly planning on joining some team of amateurs with day jobs, but... If the Sunset Savannah gets picked to host the Spell Drive World Cup, putting some serious effort into it wouldn't be the worst thing. The Spell Drive World Cup? It's the one held every 4 years that everyone goes wild about, isn't it? Oh, do they hold world tournaments in varying locales for Spell Drive like they do for soccer? Ugh! Football! It's called football, try. I was gonna say, it's every 4 years, so it's just like the FIFA World Cup. Yeah. The Sunset Savannah does have a Spell Drive Pro League, though it's all minor teams barely better than amateurs. Still, there's a non-zero chance we'd get picked to host. In the event the Savannah did get picked, the government would have to push through a lot of infrastructure to support it. A stadium, accommodations for visitors, all kinds of stuff. So it would basically be urban development using Spell Drive as a pretext. That's what Leona would actually be interested in. But changing a nation by means of Spell Drive could potentially be a sound idea. True, a single-star player exerting genuine influence over a nation or swaying public opinion is hardly unprecedented. Teams with star players are supposed to draw in lots of strong, capable younger people. Leona's got the right idea. I think. A pro player, huh? I guess it's a decently expedient way to go from unpopular to popular. Getting some time in the Spell Drive spotlight would definitely be a huge driver of urban and economic development. But it'd be a brief fad. The enthusiasm wouldn't last for long. Same for a stadium. You can push through building one, but you need arrangements in place to sustain it long term. Facilities that aren't fully utilized are just money sinks. But isn't it the job of the one running the country to think about such things? If people build something and can't properly use it, that's their problem. They can't expect the government to cover all their long-term utilization needs. Besides, I'm not even king. Why should I care how things pan out? True, I don't like the idea of letting other people handle stuff for me either, but... He spoke in a similar way in his dream and very nearly ruined his own country. So, basically, he's the type that doesn't want to take responsibility, but still wants to try ambitious projects. I can't believe I'm hearing this from the House Warden of Savannah Claw. Famed for its spirit of persistence. Well, no matter, I suppose. So, Trey, have you and Kata made your choices? Yeah, I applied at an agricultural technology centre in the Scalding Sands. I want to research selective breeding of fruits. The Scalding Sands, huh? They're supposed to be one of the most cutting-edge places for selective fruit breeding. I could draw on my science club experience there, and it'd be a good way to earn credits, right? So I'll spend 2 quarters there, and once I get the credits I need to graduate, I was thinking of spending my 3rd quarter at a business that develops condiments. Condiments? I mean, that's on brand for the guy who can recognize most spices with just a taste, but why? Oh, I'm interested in the development of sweeteners that are healthy and low calorie. If I want to feed people lots of sweets, I should be mindful of the effect it has on them, right? Haunted by your dream, are you, Trey? So are the rest of us. That's a wonderful mindset to have, but isn't that ultimately something for the one eating to decide if they care about? All a preparer of food can do is provide options to choose from. And even the healthiest food can have adverse effects if you eat too much of it. That's a fair point. I guess I'm more worried about my own self-control than anything else. Boy, I get what you mean. Yep, everyone is haunted by that. True, after seeing that dream, it makes perfect sense you'd think that way.
I still have nightmares of when Ace and Deuce were chasing me there.
The people who didn't experience the trauma are like, what? Regardless, it's treacherous to see the Chevalier de Roses has chosen his path forward. What of you, Monsieur Magician? I recall you being quite uncertain on orientation day. I've thought about it a lot, and I'm probably going somewhere related to architecture or interior design. Right now, my first choice is an interior design company in the Queendom of Roses. A choice befitting someone ever aware of trends. Was there something in particular that turned your thoughts in that direction? Arts Level's decor in my dream was pretty cannibal, right?
I remember it being ridiculously glowy and flashy and stuff.
Okay, it might have been a little over the top, but I actually kind of dug the whole castle of your own where you don't stand on ceremony for anyone else vibe. And after going through other people's dreams, it struck me that there's as many castles of your own as there are people. So I thought it'd be fun to help build those figurative castles for different people. And why limit myself to just residential design? I'd be down for working on cafes or amusement parks or whatever else. Eventually there'd be tons of castles I had a hand in building all over the world. Homes, restaurants, parks, sounds rad, right? Très bien! What a grand and beautiful dream! I am honoured to have been here when you shared it. But doesn't architecture related work require getting into specialised universities? Exactly, that's the problem. I'm so allergic to studying. You're not exactly a slow learner. Maybe you could manage if you started studying a little harder now? Except that would mean basically starting from square one, though. I'm really iffy on my chances of... Oh guys, I just spotted a super rare sight out in the wild. So many people. I should just go, but... Excuse you. Whoever designed this cafeteria must have been an extrovert architect with no regard whatsoever for loner nerds. Long tables with bench seats all designed for strangers to sit with strangers. The concept of personal space is beyond non-existent here. I just know if I sit next to someone, they'll be like, ugh, the ick, or doesn't blue just ruin your appetite? And even if I ever bumped elbows with someone, they'd get all happy about lefties being a pain. Idia's left-hander? Did we know that? I guess we probably could have worked it out. Huh. Yeah, nope. That's it, I'm heading back. There's no place for introverts like me in a cafeteria with no separate seating or partitions to speak of. Hey, idiot! Otho! It's not every day you come to the cafeteria. Are you about to have lunch? I was gonna, but it's so crowded I think I'll just fool my stomach with some tap water instead. You won't get the nutrients you need that way. You need real food. I think this is the first time I've ever seen you in the cafeteria during lunch rush, idiot. Look, it's not by choice. My personal food stock ran out, so I went to the school store to buy my usual jelly supplements and junk food, only to hear, I've got what you want in stock now, but I can't sell it to a little imp who makes that his whole diet. Oh, so Sam said, go get some real food. Sam actually denied the sale. Wow, he put customer well-being over his own profits. I'll have to thank Sam later. Reminds me of a time I tried to buy nuts when they were on sale. He told me at the pace you go through those, little imp, you won't finish one bag before its expiration date. So he remembers how often you normally come in to buy stuff? Yikes. It sounds quite impressive. I could learn a thing or two from his keen insight. For all that insight, he sure likes trying to pawn off useless junk at premium prices. I can't make heads or tails of the guy. Come on, idiot. Join us at the table. I'll get some lunch for you. This table? The one crammed with all these overbearing pushy types? I'd literally rather eat lunch in a bathroom stall than sit at... Yeah, Otho, hold on. Don't leave me! Sorry, idiot, you're getting real food in you today. Idiot will run the first chance he gets. But at the moment, he's very aware that Otho's going to get him food, so I mean... It's time to watch Idiot eat faster than Leona, huh? Just so that he can leave. Come, roi de sa chambre. Have a seat.
Idiot's making some kind of high-pitched whine you hear when the mosquitoes are buzzing around.
You, don't have to be so scared. Queerly, after showing us how dependable you could be in the dreams. Surely you can carry yourself that way in reality. Ha! Malleus? I mean, it's Malleus or Lilia, right? Come now, Sevek. This is a place for eating, not for shouting. Lilia! My liege! It seems this table is also full, Lilia. Yeah, we're tragically occupied. So find someplace else to sit. Go on, shoo. No, there's room. I'll clear away this detritus at once. By all means, you're welcome to sit here. Detritus? Well, we just finished lunch anyway. I guess we can get going. Yeah, gotta change into our school uniforms.
Yeah, we got PE next period, Kalla. You gotta get changed, right?
Yeah, I wish I had the outfit changing magic outside the dream. Freshmen still can't use magic to change clothes after waiting for their dream. You know, I could always install an outfit changing spell script in your magical pens. Please, Idia, I would like to be a magical girl at school, please, too. Please. 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 It's not like I get to use magic normally anyway. So please. If you can do it and have it work for someone who can't use magic, that would be great, Idia. Do not! No thanks! No way! Go on away with you two! Make room for my liege Lilia post-haste! Please, right this way, my liege! Ah, thank you. Sorry about this, boys. It's appreciated, though. Oh, don't mind us. Enjoy your lunch. Idia, I brought your lunch. Ah. Greetings, Malleus Draconia and Lilia Van Rouge. Hello, little shroud. I see you're hard at work being your brother's minder. Yeah, he's quick to skip meals if nobody's paying attention. Here you go, the blue plate special with some warm soup. I'm gonna head out with Kalla and Grim. Make sure to finish the whole tray, okay? And suddenly this table is no longer first years and it's just third years. Wait, what? No, don't leave me by myself! Dear me. I never imagined I'd have to actually hunt for a seat in the cafeteria. True. I recall that any table you approached would clear out immediately. Perhaps it's because I'm in a weakened state with one of my horns broken, but fewer students avoid me now, additionally. For the first time ever, a student tried to pick a fight with me by bumping his shoulder into mine as he walked by. Dude, pulling a power move on someone who's been weakened, that's such archetypical scrub behavior, lol. Frankly, even with your horn broken, you've just been downgraded from cheat tier overlord to highest of the overlord's 4 generals. You're still way out of most people's league. I still struggle to moderate my power, so I would prefer it if others would cease behavior that puts their lives in danger. Malleus, don't start any trouble for a while. If you want to get back at someone, do it gently, okay? I shouldn't be surprised you're not telling him just to grin and bear it when someone mistreats him, Lilia. Certainly not. It wouldn't do to encourage fools, for both Malleus's sake and their own. Say, slight change of subject? Lils, you're not dropping out anymore, right? Indeed. Thankfully, for some strange reason, my magical reserves have returned. Then will you be able to take part in an off-campus internship? About that. The old bat might get one, but the lizard punk probably won't. Living disaster and all that. Can't imagine any company wanting to bring someone that dangerous on board. My internship will be at Stooks. Huh? Well, that makes sense as a place that would accept him. Wait, what do you mean your internship's at Styx? Yeah, so, my dad apparently reached out to him during his magical rehab. Doesn't Malleus have a penchant for breaking smartphones and other electronics? He's never taken a technomantic engineering class, has he? What use is a guy like that gonna be in a high-tech nerd-herd org? Well, what you guys saw was basically just one part of Styx. In the other areas that are the only areas that bleeding edge are certain parts of the tech dev and research divisions. The research and analysis sections restore ancient magical artifacts and decipher ancient grimoires unearthed from ruins. And that means a lot of our research is done the old-school analog way. And with the massive volume of priceless text that Briar Valley provided for us, we're woefully short-staffed to handle it all. Hence, I will remain in Styx's care for all 3/4 of my internship, as both a research subject and a trainee. Yeah, there's a ton of data we'd like to get from Malleus. And on the off chance there's any trouble, my parents should have it covered with him staying on the Island of Woe. So, other than my personal awkwardness having a guy from my class year working at my family home, it's win-win. Yeah. We owe quite the debt of gratitude to the Watchmen of the Island of Woe. So, as long as you get your internship credit there, you won't get held back. Yes, my intent was to devote myself to research and earn at least a B grade. Are you going to Styx too, Lils? Actually, I'll be doing my internship at a Shaftlands elementary school. Working with small children? Aww. An elementary school? Does that mean you're going to be a student teacher? Yes, I'm thinking of getting a teaching license. For real? So you want to be a school teacher? Just so. The incident we went through was a painful lesson on the importance, not to mention the difficulty, of raising future generations. Papa Lilia has learned from the mistakes he made. Briar Valley has schools, but they're vastly different from human-centric ones. Considering the future we face, we need to share our knowledge and find ways for all species to move forward together. Given that, I figured this was something that might be worth spending my remaining time on. After all, I was flying by the seat of my pants when I raised my subordinates and disciples. I need to get proper training in education. Human history, Fey history. The idea of a class where one could learn both is fantastique. If you do become a teacher, you positively must let me take your classes. Come now. How long do you intend on being held back for? I'll have to go to university, which will take a minimum of 5 years to complete. My, but couldn't someone go back to school at any age if they have a desire to learn? We do have a Fae over 700 years old in our class year, you know. So you do. This might be getting ahead of myself, though. If I don't pass our final exams, the whole plan will be called off. And we have the interscholastics to handle before that. We'll be quite busy. Will you boys be taking part in those? Participation's unfortunately mandatory for house wardens. R.I.P. me. I wonder what games they'll hold this year. They could be totally different from last year's. I am on the spell drive team no matter what. No other options for me. An athletic meet with mixed teams from different dorms. Oh, how my heart soars with anticipation of the beautiful games I might behold. We've got some dependable underclassmen too. I'd like to make this the year we break our 0-99 losing streak. You know what? That's what I thought it was. As I said earlier, the problem is that teamwork is a foreign concept to most of the students of this school. At least outside of their dorms and their clubs. Possibly even inside those. A tradition of loss, I say bring it on. We won't try to erase the past. We'll embrace our history and all of the regrets that come with it. That way we can overturn our fate and start a new tradition. A new tradition established upon the 100th year. It's not a terrible idea. The Arcane Academy Interscholastic Games. I can hardly wait for them to arrive. Me too, because we get to see more Royal Sword Academy, right? I have seen the characters. Mickey! Is it time for another dream? The Mickey investigation? Yeah, we're hoping we might get some really good data with you on board. Yeah, it's to help me find a way back home. Alright, we'll help however we can. Hey, Silver, don't agree so readily when we don't even know what we're agreeing to. I can see why we were asking Silver, given the Mickey dreams. Who is this Mickey, anyway?
He's this guy who throws up in the mirror in our room at night. He's got big black ears. He ain't in Twisted Wonderland, but we can meet him through the mirror and in dreams.
Yes, I think I've met him in dreams as well.
What are you talking about? This is only making me more confused.
Okay, here's the basic rundown. So this creature called Mickey appears in a ramshackle room mirror late at night, and he's of a world that isn't this one. You seek to identify the conditions under which Mickey appears, and you hope that by doing so you'll identify a clue that could help return Kalla home. Yeah, so we, us and Epel and Jack that is, have been taking turns spending the night at Ramshackle to investigate. Ah, okay. And that's what you're asking us to do? Man, this guy seriously said sign me up without understanding any of that. Between us, we have a dire beast, an otherworlder, a humanoid, humans, and beastkin. We've been hoping to get help from someone Fae. And of course, the biggest key figure here is you, Silver, the one who made contact with Mickey in your dreams. Right, I'm pretty sure I recognize those big black ears and red shorts in the photo. I have no connection to Mickey, so I don't know why I get drawn into that room in my dreams. Wait! Is that Silver's pajamas? Oh, no, wrong button. He's got Sleeping Beauty pajamas? That's so cute. But strange things tend to happen in dreams, don't they? Meet in a dream is a spell that lets me enter others' dreams, especially those of people I'm connected to. Trouble is, I forget them when I wake up. So maybe I actually do wander into the dreams of total strangers and I just don't know it. That spell sounds like no? Onir. I have no idea what that word is. Sebek, what kind of fancy word are you using? Oh, really? It just means something related to dreams. Alright. That spell sounds like Oniric ravings to me, no matter how many times I hear it explained. Will he really be of use to your investigation? I strongly suspect he'll end up nodding off partway through. There's a decent chance that Silver can meet Mickey in his dreams. So it might be better if he conks out, right?
No kidding.
Anyway, that wraps up the investigation overview. Now we have to work out the participant rotation. Hey, slow down! I never agreed to this! I have to make up the class time I lost while hospitalized for examination. I also have to train for the interscholastic selection. And now that my liege is back at school, I cannot leave his side. After all, I'm the Lightning Knight my liege relies upon to protect him. Oh, jeez, that smug face.
It's weirding me out the way he's smirking.
Dude, you should have heard him in our offensive magic mock battles yesterday. I quote verbatim, Sebek Zigvolt, the Lightning Knight of Class D, shall now take the field. How rude do I want to be? Yeah, I can see him putting that in the name field on his tests. Here, he pulled that in a history of magic quiz and Train deducted points and told him to fill in his name properly.
Even I've never got marked down for that.
Greetings everyone, pardon the interruption. This could be the head mage, perhaps. Greetings everyone, pardon the interruption. It is the head mage! I was just like, who haven't we seen yet?
Hey, head mage. What you doing in the cafeteria?
I was looking for Van Rouge, as it happens. If you're looking for Father, he left after lunch. He said he had plans. The realization that he can actually just call him Father at this point. Actually, I meant you, Silver Van Rouge. Oh, right. I'm also a Van Rouge now. Silver, why are you glowering? Sorry. I was trying to stop myself breaking out in a silly grin. Aww! Silver! Adorable. Look at you getting giddy over simply being addressed by name. Silly indeed, Silver. Sebek, would you like me to play back a video of your own silly expression from 3 minutes ago? I don't see the harm in grinning as much as you like. It's the name you obtained after gifting us a priceless suit of Mystium armor. Of course, it's a moment worth basking in. Pretty sure the name had nothing to do with giving away the armor. Anyway, what can I do for you, head mage? Something wonderful has arrived for you, so I'd like you to come to my office to receive it. Your friends are welcome to join you. Something wonderful? For Silver? What could it be? What could it be? Father, Malleus. Hello, Silver. I see you brought along Sebek, Kalla, and a whole crowd besides. Sir, pardon our intrusion. We wanted to know what this something wonderful was. The wonderful thing that arrived for Silver is a new magical pen.
What's wonderful about it? It's just a plain old magical pen.
Look more closely at the cap. Nightraven College's magical pens also double as student IDs. Oh, this one says Van Rouge on it. That's why it's something really special. You know how every pen has a student's name engraved by the grip? Ah! The name on this one, it's a new engraving. Silver Van Rouge. Aww. This one was made at your father's request. And the first is provided free of charge upon enrollment, of course. But there is an out-of-pocket cost if circumstances dictate making a second one. Since it happens rather a lot. Yeah, I can imagine. Of course, your father is welcome to present this gift to you himself. Goodness. But it's strange hearing the head mage refer to me as father. Silver, I may have raised you from childhood, but legally I was simply your guardian. Yet you expressed a wish to be my true son, and Malleus and Sebek supported it. Here. What's this form? A formal adoption application I sent for from Briar Valley's Ministry of Justice. Formal adoption papers? I've signed my name to it. Once you add yours, we'll be legally recognized as father and son. And what do you know, I just happen to have the perfect fountain pen on hand to sign with. Sorry, you happen to have a perfect fountain pen on hand to sign with. Yes, because the magical pens are like actually pens as well, aren't they? Care to use it? Yes, sir! Ah, all done. Yes, everything seems to be in order. I'll send this to the Ministry of Justice and have the family registry updated right away.
Malleus just burnt the paper.
Don't worry, I merely used magic to send it to Briar Valley. It isn't as if a mere sheet of paper will change things for us very much, but I am glad to get to call you my son. Thank you, Father. And thank you for the magical pen. I'll treasure it forever. No! Let yourself be giddy, Silver! Wow, Silver, you're really glaring at that pen. Seeing him rejoice this much over it makes giving it worthwhile. That's his rejoicing face? Oh, no. If I look at this pen during class, I might break out into a silly grin. I must keep my jaw clenched during lessons. That'll hurt, Silver. Just let yourself make goofy grins in class. If he glowers like that the whole class, wouldn't he make the teacher cry? Oh, look how embarrassed he is thinking about its excited outbursts in front of his school chums. That's too adorable. It feels like just yesterday he was crawling around the floor on all fours. I suppose he's at that age now, though. I'm jealous. I'm beyond jealous, Silver. I want to have the Sebek Zigbolt Lightning Knight engraved on the magical pen, too.
You could just do it yourself.
Ah, this goes to show how one grows all the stronger for facing down adversity. Wonderful. It's true. And it's nice to see that you've made friends you can have lunch with, Sebek. You misunderstand, sir. These people are no friends of mine. Is there enough room on the magical pen for the title as well? You could do it two. You could do it like 2 lines. They simply want my assistance with the Mickey investigation to help Kalla find a way home. Yes, speaking of that head mage. And I was grudgingly hearing them out since they were on their hands and knees begging me. The Mickey investigation? Yeah, head mage! The thing that you're supposed to be helping me with. I bet the head mage just made no progress. Yeah, he forgot again. Actually, did we tell him about Mickey? Now I see. This explains much. That was what Kalla was referring to when speaking of potentially finding a way home that night. Oh yeah, we told Malleus that. Oh yes, I do recall you mentioning seeing Mickey in the mirror on the night of the cultural fair. Yeah, he is still supposed to help us get home, and there's no way he's been working on that, is there? Absolutely no way. Why would you work on that? Weren't you problem solved before him? Yep. And you met him again in the dreams Draconia created. What a curious puzzle. Is the mirror in Kalla's room some sort of magical artifact, like a view glass? I examined the mirror myself after hearing that tale, but it's just an ordinary old mirror. Hardly needs to be outright magical in nature, does it? This world has no shortage of strange items that were possessed by ghosts or cursed. Items with histories, essentially. Considering how well-travelled you are, perhaps you'll be able to identify it. We should see it for ourselves. Well, that's a lot of people in my room. It has no signs of any enchantments or curses. Likewise, Lilia's Far Cry cradle turned up no particularly noteworthy information. It seems it truly is an ordinary old mirror. So it's more like a silver-capped tooth or a crystal radio. And it only acts as a communicator with Mickey under specific conditions. Right. That's why instead of messing with the mirror itself, we're focusing on the environment and activation conditions. We're trying to figure out a reliable way of making the connection. Well, given that the circumstances behind the various things going on with that mirror have all been something terrible is about to happen, isn't it dangerous to randomly change around variables like that?
What's there to be scared of? Mickey's a nice guy. He's not going to go attacking us.
That's not what I meant. Doesn't that risk creating conditions that might connect you to someplace unintended? Zigvolt's concerns are entirely reasonable. Mirrors and books acting as doors connecting to other worlds, causing people to get sucked into them and go missing. Such frightening cases are rare, but not unheard of in Twisted Wonderland. Yep, getting sucked into a book. Yeah, not unheard of. Investigation or no, I can hardly allow a group of unsupervised freshmen to engage in such risk. No fair. If that's what troubles you, I'll oversee them. Thanks, Malleus! See, look, we have a chaperone. It's fine, head mage. Huh? My liege? Are you sure, Haunter? If their claims are true, they hold implications. It would mean this Mickey was able to easily intrude upon my arcane realm from a different world altogether. Such a creature piques my curiosity. Uh-oh! Mickey, I think you might need to run. Yeah, actually, Styx has the most cutting-edge tech in the world, and it's still a struggle for them to analyze this realm's structure and enter it. Meanwhile, Mickey just slipped right in with no trouble at all. Does that mean he could be an even greater mage than Malleus?
I don't know. He said he wasn't a wizard.
My, fascinating. Now I wish to meet him more than ever. Now, Malleus, you do remember you're not back in top form, right? Good grief, I suppose I'd better stick around as well, just in case. Okay, now we have an actual chaperone. But this does mean that we could potentially just have all four Insomnia guys bunking in our room for a night. Do we have space? Do we need to drag a bed in from a different room? If you and my liege are joining, then I shall as well. Oh yeah? I thought you were too busy to join in. We've got some dependable upperclassmen helping out. You're free to focus on your studies and practice, Sebek. No! I insist upon joining! Then I think we have a plan. We'll do the best we can to help you find a way back home, Kalla. Okay, now we have assistance that's better than the head mage. We might actually be able to do this. Man, I don't think we could ask for better help than the Dearsomnia crew. Things are looking up, right, Kalla? Thank you all so much. What a wonderfully supportive mindset. And what a relief it is hearing Draconia and Van Rouge volunteer to oversee this. Between cleaning up after the disaster and preparing for the Arcane Academy Interscholastic Games, the faculty's eyes are all bloodshot. If I went into the office and said, "Excuse me, is anyone free to be a chaperone?" there's not a doubt in my mind that there would have been a riot. And so, I hereby declare the Mickey investigation to be a special magic analysis extracurricular exercise. Wait, you mean we'll get credit for it? Of course! As a valuable student of this school, Kalla's future hinges on the outcome. That means I've got a chance to make up for the open notebook test I flunked.
Alright!
That said, staying up all night and sleeping through class the next day would be the opposite of educational. I cannot have that. So keep your investigation within the bounds of reason, is that clear? Yes, sir. Oh, yes. And everyone taking part is responsible for informing your respective house warden. And don't forget to submit a report. Now then. So much to do, so little time. Looks like the Mickey investigation's back on. Isn't that great, Kalla? Yeah, it is. The Dearsomnia crew doesn't have to report that they're doing this to their house warden. Their house warden is here. And Otho's job is pretty easy too. Going, "Hey brother." As your chaperones, Malleus and myself will be here every night, but I trust that doesn't go for every member of the group. Yep, it sounds like Malleus and Lilia are bunking in our room for the foreseeable future. Right. Plus, systematic isolation is absolutely essential to reliably reproduce a phenomenon. It's not a proper verification if we do it with the same people every time. I think we'll need to rework our shifts. Some of us go to bed at 10 PM, so they'll only be able to join in on weekends. You okay there, Jack? Someone must be talking trash about me. Let's start by getting all the volunteers together for a kick-off party.
That's just shifts we gotta think about. We also gotta work out what snacks and drinks we get on the job. Chocolate on Mondays, potato chips on Tuesdays. I can't wait.
This investigation is an extracurricular exercise, not a series of convivial sleepovers. But can't it be both, Sabak? Can't it be both? Shouldn't you be happy that you get to have a sleepover with Malleus? We should clearly start by establishing record-keeping and reporting methods. To think I could have pajama parties with my school chums at my age. Everyone, make sure you show up in your most adorable pajamas. Yes, I second Lilia. I second Lilia's decision here. Pajama party. The cutest pajamas. I want to see them all. Pajama parties. Those are certainly a type of gathering I've never been invited to before. I'll be looking forward to this. My liege! Okay, you people, these better be the greatest pajama parties ever! gonna get much sleep, are we?
Don't worry. The boss of Ramshackle Dome, and I'll keep the whole operation in line.
Let's do this, Grim.
Yeah, you can count on me. We got this in the back.
We're definitely gonna need to drag another bed into this room. Otherwise, far too many people are gonna be sleeping on the floor. If we basically have us and Grim and Melius and Lilia plus at least one other person. Like, we can fit two humanoids and Grim on a bed, but we need at least one more bed in here. Unless they're sleeping in different rooms, but that just defeats the purpose of the exercise. Anyway, that is all of book 7.5. I'm looking forward to book 8 and meeting more of Royal Sword Academy whenever we get that. So anyway, thank you very much for coming. It's been fun. If you're new here and you've enjoyed your time, please consider subscribing to the channel. You can also follow me on social media, which is linked in the description box. The streaming schedule for social media and over here on YouTube in the posts tab of the channel. The next scheduled stream is Friday, 7 PM for some more Tales of Exilia. I feel like we're closing in on the end of that, which will be very timely if it'll take I think. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So yeah, see you then or another time. Once again, thank you very much for coming. And this is Kalla signing out. See ya. Bye bye.